Alright guys, so the category stages of Super Battle Road are on their way to Global Dokkan. It is 10 new stages, 8 of them are categories, and then 2 of them are the Superclass and Extreme Class stages. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go over some tips for all 10 of the stages. A lot of them are very, very difficult. We're going to look at the teams I used to beat them on the day it came out. When the category stages originally came out on JP, I was able to beat all 10 the first day. And we'll go over some of the teams I used and also talk about, you know, good characters to use for some of these stages. That's not the obvious, right? Like, all right, the Revived Warrior stage, guys. Secret Weapon, LR Bojack. You know, number 2 Secret Weapon, LR Broly. Like, I'm not really going to be doing it like that, right? Like, we're going to look at some easier to obtain units that will be very good on particular stages, right? So the very first stage to look at here is the Superclass Stage. I think this is one of the hardest stages in all of Super Battle Road. I think really only like the Realm of God stage is probably significantly tougher. So here's the team that I used to beat this the first day, right? So on the Super Stage, no matter what team you use on the Super Stage, you have to have all types represented, right? You have to use one of every typing. So this is why, you know, I had the Tech Vegeto Blue team at the time. I brought AGL Super Vegeto. The reason I use him in some of these category stages over the physical one is AGL Super Vegeto actually is able to reduce damage more than the physical Super Vegeto is. So he can be more useful, although he does not output nearly the same damage physical Super Vegeto does. Tech Jacko and Int Chaozu, you guys should know if you've been watching my channel for any time at all that they have a 100% chance to stun the entire enemy team on their first turn. In Super Battle Road, they're very valuable because oftentimes the fights only will last, you know, 4, 5, 6 turns at most. So really, in many of these fights, you'll only have them on rotation probably once or twice. So they're not as big of a hole as you would think, and they are essentially a free Ghost Toucher. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, of course, huge defensive juggernaut, and LR Gogeta, you guys should know. Now, here's the thing. The Super Stage, a lot of you guys might be able to have some good strategies with this. I think the best way to beat the Super Stage is using a Jiren team. A Jiren Universal Survival Arc team absolutely destroys this stage, especially if you get lucky with Jiren's chance to stun the entire enemy party. I believe Jiren has 25% chance or a 30% chance, one of the two, to stun the entire enemy team. You get a couple of those off, and it's over. Especially if you've got Blue Vegeta, if you've got UI Goku, you shouldn't have any trouble with the stage if you're able to utilize a team like that. The Super Saiyan 3 category team is another very, very strong team you could use to beat this stage, especially if you've got, like, Transforming Goku is very good for it. And the EZA Super Saiyan 3 Goku is also another amazing option. So that's, you know, general tips for the Super Stage. Now, the Extreme Stage, this is one that I had the most trouble with this the day the event came out before switching to a Movie Boss setup. Now, the Movie Boss setup, of course, Turles, Double Turles, he is able to make mincemeat out of some of these stages in Super Battle Road, because when he transforms, Turles is very, very valuable in Super Battle Road. Having that 130% attack and defensive buff, as well as the heal, is very good. Of course, you guys should know why Janemba and Tech Gold and Frieza are good for the stages. You know, Physical Cooler, good offensively and defensively. Same with LR Bojack. Now, I tend to avoid using LR Broly as much as possible because he just takes way too much damage in Category Super Battle Road. One thing you guys will learn in Category Super Battle Road is that you can't expose one of your units to getting hit by a unit that has type advantage over them, because if they super, it's a one-hit KO, essentially. They will super for, you know, 450,000 HP, so you can't let that happen. And LR Broly, there's usually just too many attacks, so he just cannot survive the onslaught. Just like the Super Stage, by the way, you do have to have one of every typing represented. I think, you know, outside of the Movie Boss team, you could probably also use the Revived Warrior category team. I can't remember what specifically it's very weak in. I think it's physical units. There's not a good physical revived warrior unit to help out there. Because Kid Buu obviously does not have his EZA yet on global. But on GP, he is astounding. Alright, so this is the extreme stage. Real quick, let's also just look at the enemy listing here. Both the super and extreme stages have these where you have a 5 enemy round. Those are death defying right there, because listen, people say, oh, just because there's so many enemies doesn't mean it's harder. My response is always yes, but these fuckers seem to super left and right. If you get caught by more than one super attack, you're probably done. And I've heard people tell me this constantly, that they don't super as often when there's that many characters, but there's no way. I promise y'all. I've had several super battle roads ended lately because I get supered 3 or more times from one of these 5-person rotations. That's why these stages supposed to run the God stage are the hardest. Alright, so now we're looking at the Fusion category team. Now, the Fusion category team, I actually do have a tip. A really good, easy to obtain unit that everyone should have. Well, as long as you've been playing since Halloween, who's really good and able to help out. Now, here's the team I used the day the event came out. As you guys see, I actually ran a friend Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. The reason is because Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is a game-breaking Super Battle Road asset. That 70% chance of his to counter super attacks is just so, again, it's the difference between taking 200,000 to 400,000 HP. Gogeta is able most of the time to dodge it. I know some people have had bad luck with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, but he's always been a lifesaver for me. Now, obviously, global players, you do not have access to Super Saiyan 3 adult Gotenks, but he's not critical to beating this stage. He's not some secret weapon or anything. I wouldn't even use him now because this unit is here. The Super Saiyan Gotenks and Ghost unit is very, very good for Super Battle Road because he has a high chance to stun, which is a 50% chance, which is incredibly helpful. He also recovers a lot of HP with Rainbow Key Spheres, which is very helpful, and he creates a lot of Rainbow Key Spheres, which you guys might recognize as being essential for LR Gogeta to output max damage. And this guy is a free-to-play option, so he can be very, very valuable, not only on the Fusion category stage, but also on the Hybrid Saiyan. Both of those are, some of these 10 stages. Now, the Shadow Dragon team. Unfortunately, I don't have any tips or hints or any, secret units to help you guys. The Shadow Dragon arc is the smallest category in the game, pretty much, outside of, the Namekian, categories that don't matter, right? Like the Namekian. This is pretty much what you have to have if you want to beat the Shadow Dragon stage. You don't have to have them all rainbowed like I did, but you at bare minimum, you're gonna need Omega, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. I do think you probably could beat this without, Tech Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but you're gonna need Vegeta and Gogeta. They're essential. Gogeta, of course, is a great defensive unit. We just talked about him. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is also a good defensive unit. If you have all of those Dokkan Fest exclusives, funny, they were all just on one banner, right? You should be good to go. The last two units don't really matter as much. I know a lot of people probably have the Super Saiyan Trunks rainbowed. If you've got him, he can be pretty useful here. But Shadow Dragon stage is going to be tough for people because either you have those Dokkan Fest exclusives or you don't. That's going to be just the way it is. Now, the Peppy Gal stage. This, I think, is easily the easiest stage in Super Battle Road. There's just a lot of units who you could use to destroy it. Now, let's look at what I use real quick. The free-to-play Ribrianne Rainbow, she's very good here. Khalifa's amazing. Kefla's amazing. TOP-18 is amazing. If you have this trio right here, Khalifa, Kefla, and Tournament of Power 18, you're good to go. That's all you need. They are so strong, they destroy this stage. Particularly a rotation of Kefla and 18, their orb-changing abilities can combine to really turn the whole field into a disgusting amount of orbs for Kefla. So Kefla and 18 can really dominate. This Tech Bulma is a free-to-play option, so really everyone should have her. Darkness Toa obviously is JP exclusive, but she is far from necessary for this. And here's the thing. The Peppy Gal stage, listen, I know a lot of you fuckers have SCR Caulifla rainbowed. You know, SCR Caulifla, who gets better the more Universal Survival Arc category allies are on the team, but there's a lot of them. There's the Super Saiyan 2 Kale, who is also free to play. You know, of course, you got Caulifla, you've got the Tech Tournament Power 18, you know, you have the Ribrianne units. There's a lot of, you know, good female fighters. And again, guys, I know a lot of people probably don't really use orbs on some of these units like this, some of these Peppy Gal units. But, like, in order to beat these stages, you're going to have to dip into your orbs. You got to get, you know, units rainbowed to minimize the damage you take. But the Peppy Gal stage, I really think should be pretty easy if you have an account that's been around for a while. Or if you've been able to get Caulifla, Kefla, and Tournament Power 18. They're just outstanding units for this. Okay, so next stage we have here is the Hybrid Saiyan stage. Now, the Hybrid Saiyan stage starts out pretty tough with the 5 enemy fight against Team Bardock, but there are a lot of kind of hidden gem units that can really help you out for the Hybrid Saiyan stage. Like, you know, of course, ignore the rainbow LRs that I'm rocking, right? Like, yes, they obviously destroy here, but I don't think, you don't need, like, you know, LR Gohan, LR Trunks, LR Goten, and Trunks all rainbowed and, you know, use them to destroy it. There's a lot of really good defensive options for the Hybrid Saiyans. One of the most important units I'm going to talk about is the Family Kamehameha EZA units. I'm sure some people probably skip their EZA or have not rainbowed these units or what, but Goten and Gohan in particular are both very good for the Hybrid Saiyan stage, as well as the Majin Buu arc stage. 2 of these stages, they are tremendous defensively, offensively, and Goten creates orbs, so they can be very valuable. That Super Saiyan Gotenks is very good with the seal. And then obviously last one, the free-to-play LR Trunks. You guys might know he is coming to Global very soon. Do not stress about beating the Hybrid Saiyan category stage before LR Trunks drops. He is a dominator in this stage because his full passive is going to be active almost the whole time. He will have 45,000 attack and 20,000 defense and key 8. So it's very easy for him to get his 18 key super. He is able to defend very well, and he's able to do a good amount of damage. LR Trunks is an amazing free-to-play LR because he dominates in Super Battle Road, which makes him extra good in my opinion. Then, of course, you know, Super Saiyan Gohan is very good. You just got to make sure he supers first so he gets that defensive buff. So you don't want to use him in the first slot, but he's very good. You know, if you've got him, you could use him. Oh, no, this is Trunks. This Rage Trunks right here, another tremendous defensive option. Obviously, you do have to pick between this guy and the LR AGL Trunks. But let's say you have this guy rainbowed, you know, you can probably use him instead of the LR Trunks. I would say LR Trunks is probably better than this guy, but this guy is a good option as well, right? We also have B-Pan as a free-to-play unit. You rainbow her, and she is going to be able to help out with her stunning, her healing, her damage reduction, and she supers early, only at, is it a 9 key? Yes, 9 key. So B-Pan is able to help out a lot. I have not rainbowed her yet, but I am eventually going to do it when I find some spare orbs. Probably after this World Tournament, I might rainbow her, or the Super Saiyan 2 Great Saiyan Man, the SCR one from the World Tournament. One of those units I will rainbow. Alright, and then, of course, Goten. I love this unit. His orb changing and his attack and defense are good enough. He really is able to help out a lot in these categories, Super Battle Road stages. Next, we have the Revived Warrior Team. Now, the Revived Warrior Team, again, it's a little bit more of, you know, you gotta have some of the powerful units, right? Like, well, maybe not, because look at the team I use, right? So, Angel, Golden, Frieza, you gotta have them. Here's the thing about categories Super Battle Road. You know, you're gonna have to have these category leaders, obviously, to take on the stages. I haven't seen anyone beat any of the stages with, like, you know, like a free-to-play leader, like, you know, the free-to-play Tech Supreme Kai in the Realm of God stage or anything like that. I'm sure it is possible, but I've just not seen it done yet. So you are probably going to need all these leaders. Of course, Tech Golden Frieza or AGL Golden Frieza will be essential. LR Bojack or LR Broly are good if you've got them. But the big kind of secret option here, the Tapion units. They are obviously not LRs or Dokkan Fest exclusives. They are just general banner units. They're very good. This AGL Tapion reducing damage by 50%. Then obviously you guys know, Global has the buff for giant units. JP did not have that when the category stages first came out. So, Tapion when he transforms is going to be really wrecking. And then, he always reduces damage by 50%, which is really good. Then Tech Tapion, again, just like Goten, he does good damage. He has good defense. He changes orbs, and he also lowers attack on super attack. So he's very good for the Revived Warrior category stage. And then, of course, AGL or Tech Golden Frieza, both of them are quite good. All right, so next we move on to the Realm of God stage. I do believe the Realm of God stage is the hardest stage in Dokkan. I think the Realm of God stage is the hardest single stage in all of Dokkan. Because, again, let's go look at this. Look at the lineup. You fight 5, 4, and 4. So you are being rained down with super attacks left and right. It can be very, very tricky to make it through sometimes. Now, of course, one reason they made it so hard is because UI Goku is a fantastic defensive unit. He has a 100% defensive buff before he transforms, and then after he transforms, he has a 70% chance to dodge, which is very good. Now, some other really good units, Jiren. Jiren is just the king of Super Battle Road. Whenever his stun goes off, it is over. He absolutely destroys. It is just very, very useful. He is able to do really good damage with the 130% attack buff. He has good defense with the 130% defensive buff. So Jiren is just an outstanding unit here. We also have LR Vegeto Blue. I prefer him over Tech Vegeto Blue because LR Vegeto Blue is a tremendous defensive unit, as you guys, a lot of you guys are aware, I'm sure, in using him to take down the Super SCR stage. His defense is just, it's so valuable. So that's why I like using him over Tech Vegeto Blue, who, is more of an offensive unit, right? And then the other guy, this Zamasu. This Zamasu, I would actually say, is underrated. People kind of think he's not really that good, and he's actually quite a good defensive unit. He heals. He'll be able to do okay damage, but he can defend. The more health he has, the greater the stats boost is going to be. Unfortunately, in Realm of God stage, you're probably going to have significant damage a lot. So that is one important thing to remember. Also, by the way, Zamasu low-key on 5 different categories. Pretty good for my boy. So he's not a bad unit to Rainbow, considering you can use him on so many different teams. But yes, the Realm of God stage is quite difficult. This, again, is going to be one of the harder ones for people to beat. No doubt about that. Alright, so next we have the Majin Buu arc team. This one is not going to be so bad, and there's only 2 left. The Buu arc team and then the Potara team. Now, the Buu arc team and the Potara team, these 2 stages, the final boss of these 2, the Physical Vegito and the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, have 15 million HP. That's not an exaggeration either. They take 5 minutes to beat. It's crazy. They're basically, you go through these stages, the first 2, right? And then the last fight is basically a Dokkan Fest boss, with how long they just sit there and take punishment. Now, one thing is, the Majin Buu arc stage, he is a physical unit. The boss is a physical unit, which does hurt you quite a bit because the best unit on the Majin Buu arc team is LR Super Vegeto, who has type disadvantage. However, the very first time I beat this stage, I believe it was because my LR Super Vegeto transformed. Yep, my LR Super Vegeto transformed, and he was able to absolutely rock this Super Vegeto right here. This is the thing. If you're able to survive long enough against this Super Vegeto, once LR Super Vegeto comes out, he just does insane damage. Look at what he does right here with type disadvantage. He completely annihilates. So that is one thing about the Potara stage and the Fusion stage. You do have access to these, fusion transformations, which really, can occur. And they're not like, in most Super Battle Road stages, it's not likely that you're going to get transformations like this, but against specifically this physical Super Vegeto boss, it is very likely that you will get a transformation, because this fight will last longer than 6 turns. Look at this, by the way. I wanted specifically to make sure I played that, just from how impressive that was. Oh, okay. For a second, I thought his attack set was 5 million. I was like, what? No, it's 500,000. Never mind me. All right, so that's the Boo Arc stage. Again, you're gonna want to be very careful. Now there are some good units here. Now this guy, LR Gray Saiyan 1 and 2. Well, guy and girl, LR Gray Saiyan 1 and 2. They were not out when JP got the Super Battle Road stages. They are so fucking good in this Super Battle Road stage. Them giving 4 key is so helpful, because the Boo Arc is a mishmash of like over in a flash units, shocking speed units, prepare for battle units, so a lot of them link up weirdly. LR Gray Saiyan 1 and 2 help, fix that problem. Plus they seal on their 12 key super, which is essential. Especially, that will completely save you against that Super Vegeto boss, who you'll be fighting for a long time. Because it's only him you have to worry about, you can keep him locked down for a long time. Make sure you have LR Great Saiyan 1 and 2 and rainbow them. They are worth it just to beat this stage. I think all of you will agree it's worth it to rainbow a unit if it means you could beat a Super Battle Road stage. They are that difficult, but this unit is fantastic, because they are an LR, so they're able to defend nicely. Even though they're a free-to-play unit, do not underestimate them. They are very, very good. So, yeah, that's just kind of the point I wanted to make about the Majin Buu Arc team and how it's kind of like a crazy mishmash of units. Then, of course, you also have this ace in the hole, who will be good for not only the Majin Buu Arc team, but also for the Potara team as well. Another free-to-play option. He's a bit more RNG, but if you give him, 15 dodge along with his 50% chance to dodge from his passive, you possibly could rely on him. And he has a rare chance to stun, which could be very useful. So, let's look at the squad I used to take down the Potara team. The Potara category, again, is not really that big, so, the Fusion category, Potara category, Shadow Dragon category, you are going to need these Dokkan Fest exclusives if you want to beat it, right? I used Physical Super Vegeto on the winning run right here, but AGL Super Vegeto is probably a better option, honestly, for the defensive ability. The only thing, actually, hold on. The only thing is that the boss, remember, is that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and you will be in that fight against him for, 5, 6, 7 turns. So maybe it's good not to use an AGL unit so that you don't have to worry, because, if AGL Super Vegeto gets supered by that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, that's a one-shot you lose, very likely. So you do have to be very careful there. One thing, though, is that, in this stage, the leader that you're likely to be using, the LR Super Vegeto, they have type advantage over that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So, you have a good chance. Now, 2 units that, could be helpful, again, Super Vegeto and Candy Vegeto. So, there we go, guys. There are the teams I used to beat all 10 of the stages. Some, hidden gems that could be very helpful. Again, there's, you gotta have a lot of rainbow Dokkan Fest units, LRs, like your units have got to be rainbowed. Most of the time in category Super Battle Road. Regular Super Battle Road is not the same thing as category Super Battle Road. The amount, the damage these units do is tripled. It's insane. They do so much damage, so you have to prioritize defense over offense. You gotta go defense all the way to make it through category Super Battle Road. That's probably one reason I value defense so much lately in Dokkan. But, alright guys, here we go. So there's kind of the tips for category Super Battle Road. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of them, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Later.